Welcome back to round 3 action here at the Oi Rio Pro. Courtney Conlogue on top of the Jeep leaderboard. Wells wears yellow for good reason, meaning she's been dominating the 2016 season. She takes on Hawaiian Malia Manuel and a surfer from Southern California, Sage Erickson, and they already want to get things started. Malia Manuel wearing the blue jersey goes for her first turn and ends up being a little bit of a layback tail slide off the top in a messy section. Good for one move, and she's on the board, Potts.
Yep, she's on the board. Good start, quick start. That's what you got to do. Gets that board really tight in the pocket. Let's have a look here. Kind of gets caught behind the white water just a little bit right there. Throws that tail out. This is what she's going to have to do. She's got Courtney Conlogue, who's going to be absolutely destroying waves, and Sage Erickson, who's in scintillating form.
Help you out at Cloud Breaking Restaurants, and we'll watch Malia up now. Forehand cutty looks solid. Sneaky little climb, and already has 2 waves to her name.
We used to jump on the plane and head on over, and Celso would pick us up from the airport, take us surfing. Have a look at this turn here from Malia. Nice and tight in the pocket. A little bit of a foam climb maneuver, so a little 2-turn combo, 317 on the opening wave. I think Malia's dangerous in these kind of conditions, Joe, because she gets that board really tight in the pocket. She can turn it on a dime.
Now taking a look, Sage up and down. And now that hands first priority to Courtney Conlogue, who's on tour, and they were talking about all the things she needed to do in Portugal, which at the time was the season finale. They said she had to go all the way to the final, and she ended up making the semifinals. She hadn't done that before that season. Now watching Courtney on her first wave, big forehand hook. Fading now, using the whitewater well. Waiting about 4.5 minutes for that opening ride, and now finally on the board.
That was worth it. How was that first turn? There was a lot of power going into that. Sage with a quick in and out. Courtney needing a 7.34. Let's have a look at this first turn here. This is where all the points are going to come from. Right there, that's what we talk about. That's the power that Courtney Conlogue possesses, and that is hard to match. Honing her skills at Huntington Beach, so she's going to be feeling at home. This is semi-Huntington, isn't it? She took 3 gnarly wipeouts. I was actually scared for her. On wave number 4, she pulled into this 8-foot barrel, got spat out the end, and I went, oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. Now Sage Erickson up. Remember, just took off on a wave and went down. Now that's her first turn of the heat. Combos it up with a front side wrap. Lights up the inside corner, but ends up losing the finish that she got to grow up surfing on, but she also spent a ton of time in Hawaii at a young age. She'll paddle back out and see Malia Manuel get started. Quick connection on the forehand for the Hawaiian. Jams it off the lip. Perfect timing. Little room to move. Couple of setup turns, and she'll run out of room on the inside corner.
A real tight transition, but just the way she approaches a wave was able to get a really solid turn in there.
Now watching world number 1 Courtney Conlogue. Ends up floating the first section. Big tail, high throw tail, reverse attempt going down out front, and Courtney doesn't pull off the landing. It was early last year.
That could have been Strider, maybe?
The debates continue. Strider's listening. Here's Sage's wave, Potts.
Yeah, Sage Erickson, just a little bit of a mistiming there on that first turn. That was better from her there. And then tries to finish off. Didn't quite ride out of that. So not a huge score for Sage. Watch this little turn here from Malia. As she comes around the section, watch how quick she gets that board up and over. Nice little snap right there from Malia. You know, the tighter the transition, the better she surfs. And I think Malia, you know, obviously excels in big gnarly conditions, but in these little waves, she's going to be tough to beat. Courtney, just a bit of a mistake there to kick things off, so she knew she had to light it up. Got the fins up and out the back of the wave right there. And not completed, so a small score from Courtney. 5.67 on that first opening wave, and that was due just to that one massive turn.
Now Manuel in the backhand carve, and doesn't have any wave left, so she's out. Malia Manuel 317, 417, building to a 5.67 on her third wave. Now Conlogue wearing the Jeep yellow jersey, setting up that first move. Good timing on that snap. Wave goes flat, so she steps off.
Started really cutting loose. Is that just kind of a warm-up or predecessor to what's going to happen? Because quarterfinals coming up, you know you got to up your game.
I think those 3-man heats, they're a great opportunity. You want to really kind of use the wave face a little differently, maybe draw some different lines or throw in a few manoeuvres, you know, with a little less pressure. And for sure, I want to be pulling out that kind of performance in the quarterfinals. And
in sort of smaller beach break conditions, not every surfer decides to ride something like that, but you can see how it pays off for Fitzgibbons. Potts, why don't we see every surfer just adopt that sort of technology when it comes to this kind of game?
It makes for good viewing.
Now watching this replay of what just went down. Conlogue on the left here.
Yeah, Courtney just exploring the lefts. I mean, she loves her backhand. Took her to victory last year. Here she goes again.
Now looking at the right-hander. Courtney Conlogue, big blast off the lip. Still plenty of wall and drive. Snaps right off the top, super clean. She's got a little bowl to work with. Full roundhouse cutback. Just like another day in Surf City, USA in Huntington Beach, transitioning her beach break game all the way here to Rio de Janeiro. Obviously, Steph was 6. She said her 6 was the most challenging and the most rewarding. That almost went to a surf-off in Honolulu Bay. And now, Carissa, the defending champion, coming into this season. Sage Erickson up now, a little bit of white water. Now starting to swing, 2 big hooks off the lip. So patience paying off as she found a little bit of a section to work with.
Probably see a new world champion out of the men's as well. You know, gone to the domination of Mick Fanning, and we saw Adriana de Souza last year, back-to-back Brazilian world champions.
And now looking down the line, Courtney Conlogue, tail drift, reverse. She'll pull that one off just for fun. Small inside corner, just throwing the fins out and showing us what she's got. She's trying to better a 5.67.
Sage Erickson's last ride, her best, a 5.60. Let's have a look at Courtney's turn right here. As she drives, you can see just throws that tail up, puts the weight on the front foot, and spins it around there. Great control.
Now watching Malia Manuel in the answer back. Nice combination, wrap to float. She's out. 13.55 to go as Erickson holds priority. Let's look back at Malia's last wave, Potts.
Yeah, nice little clean face on this one here. Beautiful turn to kick things off. She needs to finish it nicely. Beautiful free fall drop right there. And let's have a look at Sage as she takes off, gets caught behind the white water. See, she missed that first part of the wave, which is really important if you want to get those big scores. Now she starts to unload. There it is right there, that nice vertical turn. That was the 5.60.
As we think about the heat recap, Courtney Conlogue taking control of this lead with a 7.83 and a 5.67. Did a great job to control that total out front, but we still have waves on the way. Rolling in with the whitewater here is Sage Erickson. Bowley right. Hits it nice and solid off the lip. Messy closeout section, but she'll land that one to get out of there.
Yeah, just a tricky wave to ride here at the moment. That backwash starting to come into play with the tide. Tide is coming in, the wind has picked up, so it is very, very tricky conditions here this afternoon.
So now looking at Courtney holding priority. Malia Manuel with the second decision with priority. Erickson now trying to fight back. Courtney's making a decision now. Malia's looking interested. Conlogue has got some speed down the line. Now she's stretching this one out. It could just be one major move. It's a tail high reverse off the top. Almost pulling off a radical maneuver on the inside corner.
Once you get that lead in these kind of conditions, there's sort of gives you free rein to have a bit of fun.
Now it's Malia's turn to open up. Nice bottom turn into a vertical snap. She'll combo it up with a frontside carve. Creating a moment for herself right before the backwash. She'll hang on to the final turn. Manuel fighting for a spot in the lead. A 7.18 will get her there. Potts, are we considering that one for a lead change?
It's going to be tight. Let me see. Good solid wave here. Nice clean face. She comes off the bottom and connects perfectly. Nice and vertical, throwing a bit of spray out and then combos it up with another turn. I don't know whether the judges will deem that last one complete, but those first 2 turns were really good. Let's have a look at Courtney's here. Missed that first section, so she needed something special. Now she goes to the air. No grab, lands backwards, tries to spin it around there, just didn't quite get the board all the way around. So Courtney showing some innovation of her own right there, Joe.
You can see all 3 surfers just bobbing and weaving down the line here, Potts. This could be it. Sage Erickson now commits. And not much happening on that inside corner. Just a quick up and out.
Yeah, no, it's going to come up. Sage's going to come up just short. It's going to run out of time. Now you can see the camaraderie that these young ladies have. Tell you what though, Sage Erickson came back from nowhere. She had a 3.67 and a 5.60. All of a sudden drops to 7.53 and only needing a 5.98 by the end of the heat. She's going to take a lot of confidence coming out of that. Malia as well. Surfed great. I mean, we've seen some two great heats so far in this round.
Sage and Courtney, longtime childhood rivals, now both living their dream on the top stage. World number one off and running into the quarterfinals.